With Gita expected to make landfall within the next 2 hours, possibly slightly more, will it strengthen to a Category 5? And what impact will it have as it moves on towards New Zealand? MetService meteorologist Georgina Griffiths is with us live. Georgina, it's always wonderful to have you on Checkpoint, although I wish we weren't talking about such a big cyclone heading directly towards Tongatapu. What strength is it now? Do you have the latest on that? Is that information to hand?
I do. I have the latest from Fiji MetService, who have responsibility for all advisories and warnings on the system. So they've just come up with something about half an hour ago. It's actually 930 hectopascal central pressure, which means it's very strong Category 4 this afternoon, and actually they continue to expect it to rise to a Category 5 system tonight. So we expect it to pass very close or make landfall near Nuku'alofa, Tonga, in the early hours of the morning. So we've got some time. It's still situated about 200 odd miles to the east of Nuku'alofa, so that's why the rough stuff hasn't really arrived yet, and it will be the middle of the night, I think, when it comes closest. When it does go very close to Tonga, unfortunately, it is expected to be a Category 5 with sustained winds close to the centre of 110 knots or around 205 kilometres an hour. So that's the mean speeds, gusts 150 knots or 280 kilometres an hour. So really significant hurricane force winds, of course, Category 5. In addition, because of the very deep central pressure at that time, we expect, or PGMS expects, a significant storm surge and some extreme waves around the overnight period as it passes over or just immediately to the south, and of course very heavy rain. So I'd say the impacts will be wind, storm surge and wave, and obviously deluge-type rainfall. So they're in for a really rough night in Tonga. And the good news is that it passes away, it's tracking westwards, away from the island in the early hours of the morning, and continues tracking westward. So it's tonight's the night, the overnight period where, stay safe, Tonga.
Georgina, if it's tracking westwards, it's not going to get to New Zealand, is it? Because we're south. So where will is it drifting over towards Australia now after Tonga?
It's got a due west track at the moment, about 13 knots or 25 kilometres an hour. Now that is the very the million-dollar question for New Zealanders, of course, that aren't currently in the tropics. It depends a great deal on its track when it comes out of the tropics, how far westwards it makes before it recurves. So basically we expect it to track westwards in the next few days to continue going towards New Caledonia slowly as a Category 5 system overall. That's the Fiji Met and us in agreement around that. Now it is expected to recurve on Sunday and into Monday as it comes south. Recurve means heading southeastwards towards New Zealand around late in the weekend. And once it hits that 30 south, we expect it to sort of trend down towards New Zealand. Now, there's a lot of play in where it tracks after that because of, it will depend, this is an evolving system, it's still deepening. We'd like to see as the models try and capture what it's doing now. It's 7 days out from New Zealand if it comes down. The details are not yet, present, John. Okay, the models are still playing catch-up on rapid development and movement, and so there is some play about how far west it gets before it recurves, and it will matter. And this is why MetService, who of course have responsibilities as soon as it crosses 25 south, for all information around the system, including any impacts on New Zealand weather. We will keep people posted. We're 7 days out from recurve, so we're still a long way away in tropical cyclone forecasting, of course. It's still evolving and growing, and the model guidance is having to adjust to that. These PCs can last for many days, of course, in the tropics, and that's why they're very damaging. This one's fairly slow. So I would say keep in touch with what MetService is saying in regards to New Zealand towards the end of the week. It's not imminent, but obviously keep up with Fiji Net tomorrow about where it's likely to track once it's past Tonga.
Georgina Griffiths from MetService. Georgina's obviously a meteorologist there with MetService. Thank you so much, Georgina.